Hey, this is Jake, and I chose to do my music culture assignment on a flamenco piece by the title of Oración by guitarist Manolos Sanlúcar. I haven't really been exposed to much flamenco in my life. My parents are avid travelers, and one of their favorite countries to go is Spain. So they brought back some of his music and showcased it to me. I was really fascinated with the power and passion that goes in to this music and just the pure devotion to someone's craft. Uh, the precision needed to play the guitar like this is on a whole other level that I really haven't seen before. It's truly fascinating. As my mother described to me from her travels, flamenco is very much about telling a story, almost a journey through life. It is very much a philosophical um, embodiment in both the way you live your life and how you play music. And to be a flamenco guitarist or even just a musician within that genre, you have to have a very disciplined way of life to take under such a highly ornamented style of music. The piece is homophonic throughout most of its duration, as he plays a melody and a bass line at the same time, which is really something to analyze on a more technical level. To be able to play both of those in unison on the same instrument is really something quite spectacular. Um, Overall, the general feelings of the music kind of invoke a sense of curiosity, sadness, frustration, longing, and just a really powerful feelings. He uses a lot of terrace dynamics during this piece as he's constantly contrasting between very soft and loud playing styles. And since there is no vocal component to his song, he has to try to express this through his playing as best as he can. And it really ties into the journey and the adventure story narrative that I was talking about earlier. Simulating the ups and downs of life, whether they are good or bad. Spain is very much a collision of cultures, and if not one of the most culturally diverse countries in Europe, having influences from African, Moorish culture. Even looking at Catalan and Barcelona, the more Spanish-centric of area of Madrid, and even the large gypsy influence that the country has seen. Flamenco is very much a mixture of all these styles and different cultural forms coming together. And then even analyzing it from a more modern context, we can look at the Spanish Civil War and the rise to power of Francisco Franco, who reigned an end to the 1970s. He was a dictator who basically ran a totalitarian state. So there's a lot of trauma from generation to generation, and just the general act of living under an oppressive regime with no democratically elected government. It's only natural to think that due to the rather tumultuous history and extreme form of government that was discussed below, that it would have a very profound effect on Spanish culture, its music, and just its people in general. And it really shows an act of resilience that they're able to carry on, continue to, pass down their traditions, and just, showcase their love for life and their passion through their music. In terms of the audience and people who would listen to flamenco, it's rather hard for me to narrow this down, as I've never been to Spain. I'm on the outside, but I imagine it helps to generate tourism, as it displays the rather idealized depiction of Spain. As many people associate Spain with this type of music, and it really is a very unique form of music. I imagine it's more relative to some of the older generations who, went through some of the trauma that we discussed below. I'm sure younger generations who have not endured the same experiences, it wouldn't be as relative to their age group. Overall, I really enjoyed this piece, and it really took me out of my own perspective and put me into another culture. Thank you for listening.